Hey, shalom, y'all. Shalom is Michael Israel. Did a early check-in here. Um, did an early check-in here at the airport. I was just checking something there. Um, Let me see. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. But yeah, I did an early check-in here at the airport because I had to check out my hotel. So here at a packed LaGuardia Airport. So I got a bunch of time on my hands, so I figure, hey, uh, I want to break some stuff down here about the significance of, you know, the stuff that I'm seeing now. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I'm gonna do first, though, is I'm gonna just I'm gonna make sure the I'm gonna make sure the feed's up. Okay, y'all bear with me on this. Okay, and if y'all could, if I could get y'all to, if you're in the comments there on YouTube, just type in the comments whether my audio's good, and that's all I need to know. And then after that, I'm gonna get things, I'm gonna get started on and bring out some good information, man. Um, so yeah, I'll wait for y'all to get in there. Um, okay, so yeah. Um, I'll wait. So yeah, like I said, if y'all could just let me know how the audio is on here. Um, okay, shalom. I see y'all coming in. Brother Michael is. Yeah, this okay. Audio is good. There's minimal mic static, but it's solid. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So I'm glad y'all could hear what I'm saying. But you know, I'm gonna tell you, dude. I see somebody put in the comment about some of the stuff I was saying. Hey, you know, you see a lot of weird stuff out here in New York. There's a spirit on it. Um, Below the scenes, I've even before I came into truth, I hung out. I hung out here in New York a lot. Um, I've kind of seen aspects of the dark side of New York, not like I did in Vegas, because I did more partying there. But you know, I quickly found Vegas's dark side, and not that I couldn't get involved in it. All praises, because you know I was in the military, so at best, you know, you could drink and you couldn't party too long. But New York, like I said, it has a very dark side too. But I'm not getting into all that. The thing I want to talk about is the thing that underlies everything, and that is the uh, the mystery of Mystery Babylon the Great. And I think with my tour there that I did earlier, walking through the financial district, showing you guys different aspects of it, um, one of the things I'd advise everybody to do is when you're in these cities walking around, um, or when you're in your city, uh, look at check out the take a look at the stuff on these buildings. Even when me and Ron were up in Harlem, man, they had a Prince Hall Masons building, and just look at the writing on this stuff. It's it The thing that trips me out is when you really look around, like when I was in the financial district and I was at these, looking closely at everything on these buildings, like the more important the building, the more crazy stuff you see on it. And like I said, I didn't really do a whole bunch of digging um, in when I was in the financial district. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, um, I kind of just looked at on the outside of buildings. But the two things you notice, like I said, on the New York Stock Exchange buildings, you've seen all them perverted sculptures at the top of it, uh, with, of course, a 100% Greco-Roman influence on them. And then you also saw a lot of security around there, heavy security. Same thing with the World Trade Center Memorial over there. You saw the same thing. A lot of security and uh, a heavy influence of Catholicism. Yep, somebody said Pan is a god, pansexual. Yeah, all types of weird crap out here. Yeah, in a damn freak show zoo. Um, but it's again, it takes getting into mystery Babylon. It takes it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to see, but it's everywhere, and it's so all-encompassing. Like I said, it took Brother Judah trying to explain it to me, and I couldn't get it. I ain't gonna lie. Like he was breaking this stuff down to me months ago. He's been teaching on this, but he tried to break this down to me months ago, and I told him on the phone, I was like, dude, I was like, you're saying something that's so heavy that I know it, I'm not seeing it, but I understood what he was saying. I just said, you don't, most of our people don't understand the, um, how far reaching and how deep what Mystery Babylon is, how the tentacles of it, how far stretching it is. And they don't understand that is why we are in the predicament we are in right now as a people, because you know we don't we don't function according to. I gotta keep an eye on my stuff I got plugged in over here. Yeah, we, we don't. Um, the reason we're in the predicament we're in is because we don't understand the ramifications, how far reaching Mystery Babylon is, how indoctrinated we are with its beliefs and philosophies, the how how much of that culture is ingrained in us. Okay, that's the best way I could put it, man. Um, the culture of Mystery Babylon is fully uh, the culture of Mystery Babylon is, don't get it twisted, is fully integrated into the Hebrew Israelite so-called awakening and culture. I mean, that's the big aha I had. That's why I'm like running around here like my hair's on fire, because I realized that you know the Mystery Babylon the Great, the culture is fully in effect, 100% in the Hebrew culture. There's only a few people um, not operating in it. And look, Brother Judah brought this out, and he's actively doing stuff to not function in it. Straightway fully gets it. and they are truly taking steps and measures to operate outside of it. And it's funny because for us as a people, this is how I know that Mystery Babylon the Great and that culture is truly of Satan, because what's required for us to come out of it is perfectly exactly what's wrong with us as a nation to a T. So when you talk about our people, black people, not other nations, but our people, when you look at what's required to truly come out of Mystery Babylon the Great and the culture, and like I said, I'm gonna get into exactly what it is because I'm running my mouth on what the problem is too much. But when you look at what it takes to come out of this oppression we're under, that a lot of us can't even see, we'll fight for it. We'll fight to say enslaved to Mystery Babylon the Great. But yeah, and what's required to come out of it is perfectly what we do not want to do. It's literally the opposite of. That's how you know this is was a planned agenda from Satan. Um, so yeah, brother Judah of the NMP on YouTube is Knesset Yeshua, and what that brother did, he's been teaching on this for years. It's just it took me going out and seeing Straightway and Pastor Dow and that operation he has, the community he has out there, where they truly function as brothers and sisters, and not just they don't just loosely throw that term out there, but they truly um, function as brothers and sisters out there. And what they've been able to do is create a model that shows a true biblical model of the way the Most High wants us to function. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're operating out there. Of course, a lot of people got a problem. They feel like if you say Pastor Dow's name or talk about Straightway, they feel like people worship Pastor Dow. People just give Pastor Dow double honors for what he was able to bring um, into, you know, into this physical world. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High was dealing with him, gave him a revelation and understanding in the book, and he carried it out like a good and faithful servant. Him and a bunch of other brothers out there. Um, but this is the thing. Uh, and then the significance, brother Judah, because me, I like to understand things thoroughly through and through. So the significance of brother Judah of the NMP, the Knesset Yeshua, he went in and man, his brother broke that thing down to where they ain't, you know, he mopped the floor and then cleaned the corners. Like he didn't leave nothing behind, and he really went into this thing. But what we're talking about is so deep and so heavy, it's almost hard. And maybe it was just me, but it was hard for me to really grasp the scope of it until, like I said, I went out there, saw Pastor Dow, and then even being here in New York, I see it working in everything. So real fast, so what Knesset Yeshua, that's his YouTube. 2 words, Knesset Yeshua. And he's been going in on this lately, and he do a long 3-hour video and just back stuff up. So what is it? What is Mystery Babylon the Great? Well, part of it, but not the whole thing, is initially, yeah, you gotta come out of her spiritually first. So how you come out of this thing spiritually, you gotta fill yourself with stuff from the book, okay? But Mystery Babylon and how what they've done to oppress us as a people, okay, and to crush us totally is basically economically they've crushed us. But that's not it. That's not it all the way. How'd they crush us economically? Okay? Well, they did that, whether you want to call it spiritually or whatever. They divided us. One of the key things is they've divided us. Okay? Um, they broke apart in the 70s, and in the 70s they broke apart the black family with welfare. Then after they broke us apart, they further divided us by like destroying our kids. One of the goals, I forget who it was. I was watching something and they were saying way back in the day, it might have been Margaret Sanger or somebody, but they were saying we want to get their kids from them and indoctrinate them at an early age. As soon, if we could snatch them straight out the womb, we would. Okay, but they couldn't do that. But they get your kids 6, 7, 8 months after you have them, sometimes sooner, with daycare. Okay, that's one of the things they do. Let me make sure this thing's still working. Okay, so that's one of the things they do. That's one of the ways they get you. They get have your kids in daycare. But let me stay on track. So what is so the part of Mystery Babylon that nobody talks about, that nobody brings out, is the money, the whole system. Okay? So what they've done is Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. That's what it says. So Mystery Babylon the Great is this economic system they have, how it functions. So Mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots, is that Catholic Church. It's the mother, and the harlots is everything that's built after that model. This whole, even in the Hebrew Israelite community, this whole model of I teach and you donate is part of Mystery Babylon the Great. That is not how the Bible intended us to function and operate. So I know it's shaking everything up, but I gotta bring this out because it's the damn truth. So if I'm sitting here, I didn't sit right with me for me to have spiritual combat set up, and because I'm teaching you this truth, y'all just give me money. There's something didn't sit right with me on that. Now I know why. Because that's not the model. And it was always in me. It was like, dude, there's something more to this crap. Yeah, yeah. It's Knesset Yeshua is the channel. Yeah, somebody put it in the comments there. Something didn't sit right with me with setting spiritual combat up in that way where I was like, I was talking to Musa, I was like, dude, I was like, Musa, there's more to it than this. And I told him, wherever this truth take me, I'm going to go. I don't give a damn. But I was like, dude, I like setting spiritual combat up to where I teach lessons and people donate is not the end all be all. I was like, this thing's deeper than this. And, I understand why I'm not like, oh, y'all evil as hell. No, it's a deception. That it wouldn't be called mystery to Babylon if it wasn't a mystery. So even in the Hebrew community, we've adopted the mother of harlots model. But now, boom, the mystery Babylon the Great is becoming known. That is not the model we are to be functioning under. So what is the model we're supposed to be functioning under? Well, this model, this is why I know it's of the Most High, because it challenges you to the utmost spiritually on the stuff you hold closest to you. So what does it look like? What does the biblical model look like right now in my current understanding? Because I'm not saying this is the end all be all. Like I said, I'm learning as the Most High brings me forward. But all through the book, any the whole thing of the book, what does it say? Love your brother. He said the two things that everything hinges on is love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul. That's getting a true understanding of this book. And then the other thing is love your brother as you love yourself. Dude, we throw that around in word, but not deed. So what does that look like? I would move to say it looks more like the straightway model of doing things. The way pass it down straightway operate. They will truly drop anything for their brother. Worldly stuff is of no importance as doing something for their brother, somebody they call brother. Uh, Example, when I went out to Houston, Brother Greg said, "You're coming over here." He said, "Y'all gonna stay with us. We're gonna give you food. We're gonna give you a place to sleep. We got you. Anything you need, I'm your brother. I got you. We love you, Mike. We like what you're doing, this, that, and other. You're like-minded. You're our brother." And they truly, and Koya is a witness to this. And y'all are also witnesses because I documented they truly walked this thing out. When I went to Detroit, same thing. Brother Juan, he said, "You my brother, we got you." They picked me up from the airport, literally like I was their brother. He dropped whatever he was doing. He inconvenienced himself. He wasn't asking what I could do for him. He was seeing what he could do for me as his brother. Um, he gave me a place to sleep. He gave me food to eat. He was moving like my brother. When I went out to Straightway, Tennessee with Pastor Dow, same thing. Dude gave me a gun to protect myself and my family. He gave me food. They gave me food. They paid my way up there because they wanted us to see this model that they're doing. Um, Anything I need. Even now, I know with confidence that if something really befell me or my family, I could count on them almost like family or more than family. So truly walking this thing out. Now, let's get into the deeper thing though, because I got a little off, but is how they function, how they stand up their communities. They're truly walking out that the verse in Acts, and it looks like I'm gonna have to up and move here because we're getting ready to board this plane. But I'm gonna keep talking now. I'm gonna just be on the move. That's all. But yeah, they're truly walking out that verse in Acts where it said they sold everything they had, and 'cause now we're going to get into the real heavy stuff. Yeah, they're truly walking out that verse in Acts where it said they sold everything they had, and hold on one sec. All right. Okay. So yeah, they're truly walking out that verse in Acts where they sold everything they had. You know what I'm saying? And had all things in common. All right. So yeah, they're truly walking out that verse in Acts. Look, the one spot nobody was at. Some girl walks up. Hold on. Just find a little spot. Yeah. But yeah, what they were doing, they truly walking out that verse in Acts where, you know, we'll just cut to the chase. If you're calling somebody your brother, you should you should be able to trust them with anything, with your around your kids, um, with your money, with anything. But you see the problem with the Hebrew community, and I'm not gonna say like the problem with the Hebrew community, but what what the big realization is, and what they've taken crafty counsel to do, is make it so that we don't really trust each other. We don't really want to come together. So they've taken crafty counsel to cut us off from being a people. Okay, so which which what you see is people just in word, hey, you my brother, but not coming together in any meaningful, productive way, backing up the fact that they're calling somebody their brother. And that's why that's why you see these congregations, nothing's happening at all. Nobody's you see all these congregations and ministries or whatever, it's just like the Christian church. They're walking around with the instruction, but they're not doing it. They're not really trying to do it. They're not trying to be able to walk with their brother in all things. At best, they'll meet up with them for 4 hours on the weekend, and they'll inconvenience themselves as much as they can painlessly sacrifice. Okay, but as far as really trying to truly do this thing the way the book truly says, folks ain't willing to go in like that. Okay, and why? Okay, hold on. So yeah, so that begs the question: why? Why are folks truly not going in? A lot of it is the programming of Mystery Babylon. Um, Hold on, I'm gonna get on the move. I'm gonna see if I can find a better spot for me. So yeah, the reason why is the programming of Mystery Babylon. It encourages people to be, particularly our people, to stay divided. Um, you got one of the things you see is people. I could the people who are well off, the people who are comfortable. Because somebody mentioned to me yesterday, they were saying, they were laughing. They're like, you know what, Mike? Only people who really get excited about what you're talking about are the people who broke, you know. And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's what that's who the Most High came for. That's what he said it was about. Was the disenfranchised, the oppressed. Okay. And the people who are well off, if they're really about this word and they really love their brother, you see what I'm saying? They do something to help them, you know? They do something to help them out. But the thing is, most of these people are just in deed and not in word. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's I'm telling you, that's the big mystery of Mystery Babylon, is keeping you worshiping and serving money as the most important thing in the world instead of your brother, the like-minded believers, people of this book, coming together with them and pooling resources, doing group economics. See, and people swear I don't know what I'm talking about, but dude, if you watch or talk to people from these other nations, if you talk to them real closely and watch what they're doing this. This is how all the other nations get ahead. This is why we stay behind. Nobody, we need, what we need is trustworthy men who aren't going to be corrupted by power or filthy lucre. You see what I'm saying? To put this thing into action. People like Elder Mitchell, people like Pastor Doc. And this is why so many people got a problem with it. This is why there's a lot of false judgment against him. That, mind you, you know, um, a lot of people after I went out there on his land, there were some righteous brothers and sisters out there who repented of what they that because they were uh, committing false judgment out there. So yeah, let me get off here. Like I try to get 2 feet away from somebody, and they try to get 2 damn feet closer. I'm gonna start just staring at them, be like this. But yeah. So this is the reason why, you know. But yeah, that's the thing. We gotta find trustworthy people who can, who could be trusted and counted on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people need spiritual growth, spiritual development, um, because a lot of the people, I see the immaturity in people's spiritual development, because a lot of people that swear pass a dial, is wicked, or 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 I'll put it better. A lot of these people are following evil, greedy leaders, evident, very obvious and evident by their actions. Okay? It's very obvious and evident by these people's actions that they're wicked leaders, selfish, greedy leaders, but they choose to follow them because they're at a low level of spiritual development, and they're easily manipulated. And these people are manipulating these folks for filthy lucre's sake. And okay, I see a good spot to sit at. So yeah, these folks are manipulating these people for filthy lucre's sake, and you know, just taking advantage of them. So all right, I got a nice good seat. So yeah, they're just like I said, they're taking advantage of these folks, and I'm telling you what I saw. I watch people come on my lives, make comments. I showed them through their comments that what they were saying was a lie, and then I watched who they followed, like who their teachers were, and I was like, I know for a fact things about some of the folks you follow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Y'all bear with me. I'm looking for something for my charger. It's around here somewhere. But so yeah, that's it's so that so I said all that to say this. The first step is people are gonna have to learn how to know whether they're following a good leader or a bad leader. That's the first step. Okay? And that again, it's gonna take some spiritual development to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how I'm doing. Okay, session. So somebody asked me to share my journey. Um, well, right now, because we don't have a community, we're working on it. We ain't rushing it, but we ain't dragging our feet either. We just going through it righteously, patiently. But yeah, we haven't. at the end of this month, when all this travel wraps up for me, because I still got to go to Carolina for that event there, and I gotta get to, but it's just it could be tough doing all this traveling. But yeah, when uh, I'm gonna go to Carolina, and then after that, I'm gonna kind of focus in on what we got going on there in Jacksonville, Florida. You know what I'm saying? On you know, land and stuff like that. We've had a lot of people in Jacksonville reach out to say they want to be a part of it. So everybody has to get to know each other. We got to be accountable to each other. When I say accountable, we got to be brothers and sisters to each other. We got to be able to count on each other. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so what I'm about to say here is real heavy. The whole thing of becoming a nation is what? When you become a nation, you're independent of another nation. So, right, we're dependent on this nation that we're captive in. We're dependent on them for protection. What? The cops, who kill us. They don't really protect us. We're dependent on them for food. We gotta go to their grocery stores, one, which, that's, you're gonna have to, but a lot of times it's getting to the point where we gotta go to them for fast food. Um, a lot of, the, the way they're raising the women up is to where they don't cook, you know, because what? They're so rushed, they're so busy. Um, the women are so busy working and doing all the other stuff. We're slowly becoming like a fast food, eat out generation. Okay? So they're taking that means away. They've been taking away the means of growing your own food. How? They took away your land. One of the things I was thinking, I was looking when I was driving out here to LaGuardia Airport, when I was getting my ride out here, I was looking at those projects, man. There's people on top of people. They have nothing. Concrete Vietnam, dude. They have no means of production. That's why the Most High has put this spirit on a lot of our people that, hey, we got to get land. The more you can do for yourself, the more powerful you become as a nation. And this is a book, okay? And, but if you're, hold on one sec. Let me fix this real quick. See what's going on. Okay, cool. Okay, hold on. Y'all just bear with me. All right, there we go. So yeah, so the more you can do for yourself, the more we're military bound for another 7 years, but are looking for our forever home and want to purchase land and start building community. Yeah, just contact me, Shalom. Please share your. So yeah, and I'll share. Um, but understand that I like our people to understand what understand what the big picture is. Okay, what the big picture is of what we need to be thinking, what we need to be doing, and again, that big picture is we need to be, or like when I say community building and stuff like that. The big picture of that is building a community, and even more so than that is the brotherhood aspect, because everything else falls in the line. But in order to have a true spirit of brotherhood, you gotta have your mind right. Because once you get your mind right, you're not gonna want to be a part of Babylon. You know, you're not gonna love all this. You ain't gonna be watching a lot of TV that encourages you to covet, to want to act like, be like, want to have, want to go, want to do all this stuff that they do. You're not going to want that. You're going to have a renewed mind, a Hebraic mind, where you're going to want the things of the book. You're going to get a true understanding of that. A lot of people got one foot in, one foot out. I know I called it at one point the Hebrew hokey pokey. So one of the keys is to come out of it like that and then look for other people who share that same mindset, willing to come up out of it. You know what I'm saying? Now you got somebody you can work with. And what you're going to find, most of the people who profess themselves to be Hebrews and stuff like that, man, they got one foot all the way in this thing. They are, a lot of them just, they straight Shalom, Mishpachah, this, that, and the other Hebrews for maybe 3 or 4 hours on the Shabbat. And then outside of that, they 100% Babylonian citizens. Okay? Understand that. You know, you got to see that, you know. You know, a lot of folks ain't truly, they're not truly in this thing, in it to win it. Okay? A lot of ministry, same thing. You know what I'm saying? They're not, they're not truly 100% in this thing, you know. So you gotta realize that. You gotta learn how to discern that once you have grown spiritually, to discern that. How are you gonna do that? I always tell people go to the book of Proverbs. Like that's a good place to start. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So like I said, yeah, the book of Proverbs, that's a good place to do your research, you know, to get your mind right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go somewhere. This charger ain't working on these chairs. So, but I'll wait though, because this is a good little spot for now till it get too crowded. But yeah, that's a good place to go. It's gonna help you discern what's going on in your spirit, and it'll help you discern other people's spirits. It don't see what you gotta understand. This is what people gotta understand. It's not about where you're at. It's about who you with. It ain't about how much money you got. It's about who you with. All you need is another brother who down, another person who with it, and you combine those resources. You know, that's all it's about. You know, you become one. You know what I'm saying? Once you do that, everything else fall into place. But you could go over to Guyana or some other place in the world. If people can't come together with like minds, you just gonna be out in Guyana or wherever you go. hmm Applied, I'd even move to say, brother Bachar, the Israelite, I'd move to say application of wisdom and understanding, because a lot of people they they got the book more well mapped out and understood than me. But the thing is, you see what I'm talking about all through the entire book. It's all in there. You know what I'm saying? It, it ain't. You don't need to avoid taxes. What you need to avoid is division. Uh, you could be living tax free. You still gonna be serving them until you come together and take back the means of production. You understand? Bakar, okay, that's cool. It ain't, avoiding taxes ain't gonna bring you out of this oppression. unity with your brother will bring you out of it. Okay? Because you only one man. So you're going to be one man avoiding taxes. You see what I'm saying? Nothing spectacular. But if you come together with your brother, now you got something. That's what the book's telling. It didn't say love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and avoid taxes with all your heart, mind, and soul. No, it said render unto Caesar what's his. Okay? But again, and I'm not, you know, I'm telling you, me, right now, I'm learning group economics. We don't know it. That's that, that's why we in the predicament we're in. Because we have no clue. I, well, I'm telling you, 99% of our people don't even know what group economics really looks like with us as a people. It's heavy. Okay. So it look like they boarding this. I'm going to go get another spot. So I'm not going nowhere. I'm just letting y'all know I'm getting ready to walk. But I'm going to keep talking and keep teaching. So yeah, this we don't know what that looks like, you know, with us as a people. Yeah, that's the big thing. Okay, I think I see a good spot. So yeah, when we and that's what I'm doing. I'm painting what that actually looks like for us as a nation. And we also don't understand the power of, excuse me. All right. So sit here for a couple minutes. They even got a charger for me. All praise. All right. There it is. It's charging up. I think I'm going to go down here to the end now. All right. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing is understanding what group economics looks like from a Hebraic biblical perspective is a weighty matter. This is the mystery of Mystery Babylon. It's to avoid group economics. You see what I'm saying? That's some heavy stuff. And the it, what goes hand in hand with us being in the predicament we're in is we don't understand group economics, brotherhood. That's even a better way to put it. At this time, we're checking in all we don't understand brotherhood. That's why we're in the predicament we're in right now. Okay? And you, isn't that what Satan would do? He turns this stuff completely upside down. So what do we do here in this nation? We worship mammon, we worship money, and we the people of the book because we got the least amount of brotherhood of any nation. Look, I'm watching the so-called Jew walk through right now. Yep. Of any nation on the planet Earth, the least amount of brotherhood is us. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. I'm just setting this back up. Okay. Yeah, no trust. And it's like, dude, who gonna put themselves out there and, you know, be transparent? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about transparency, you know? That's what we need, is transparency. Not all this ambiguity and vagueness. Nah. And if somebody ain't transparent, you know, need to cut them off. You know, don't deal with it. But we need transparency. Um, People willing to have the tough conversations. This, that, a discernment. I mean, you don't have to. Like I realized dealing with a lot of people. A lot of people, you don't have to waste your time. Um, you know. Uh, Hold on, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna get in the cut down here. Y'all bear with. I'm gonna get the ultimate, cause this is a real crowded airport. And you know old Michael Israel, he liked to talk loud. Oh, yeah, I got a nice little cut in the corner. But yeah, so we need transparent people who gonna call it like it is. You know what I'm saying? And and be straight up and be loyal and really want the best for the people. And that is not what you have, even in the Hebrew community. You don't have that. Okay? We were taught to be that way since exactly, and even to this day. Look at the hip hop culture. They got a name for what that is. They call it conspicuous consumption. That's when they push um, they push mammonism. You know what I'm saying? They push it. You see? They just push that hard. They got you chasing Babylon. And I'm telling you, man, I can't tell you the number of brothers, even with this, what I'm bringing out, people don't really, and I understand, because it's hard to see. But you got to think like, okay, you take uh, one person is paying his electric bill, another person is in another place paying his electric bill. Let's make it better. I'm going to give you a better example. The projects. All them people, and they divided up, or an apartment complex. Apartment complex would be better. You got all these people divided up in an apartment complex, each paying some dude, let's just say, for the sake of simplicity, $1,000 a month for 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment complexes. While what the people are being programmed by what? They're watching television, they're watching TV, they're listening to people around them. So they're programmed into thinking, I have to have a bedroom for me. I have to have a bedroom for my kids. I have to have a living room. I have to have this, have to have that, have to have this. So to tell them, hey, y'all two should just move in with each other together, consolidate all that. Now you got one grocery bill. You got multiple people to cook food, so you don't have to eat out all the time. You got one electrical bill. You got one rent bill. You see what I'm saying? That's alien to the programming we're getting from Mystery Babylon, from the enslavement of Mystery Babylon. Mystery Babylon pushes individualism, not brotherhood. Puts you against your brother. You're trying to out compete your brother with conspicuous consumption. You're trying to have bigger rims and brighter rims or whatever the hell they tell you need to get out there. Instead of grinding, like, hey, okay, my whole family lives, you know, and what I'm showing you the example that is the exact opposite of your programming. So let's give you a model, an example. An example would be your whole family lives in one bedroom. You got 3 families in a house sharing one bathroom. All the women cook the meals. You don't eat out anywhere. You don't travel anywhere. You grind. You build. You get out of debt so you're free. But to them, to you, free is candy highs of going out to eat, going here, going there, buying this, buying that, luxury item, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Um, Fulfilling wants. And while you're fulfilling wants, you're slowly putting yourself in need. You see what I'm saying? So this is where I'm at now. This is parts of what I'm beginning. So what somebody put in there, yeah, we know that. That's how the Mexicans do it. But see, this is the thing. I'm gonna show y'all something even heavier. You're saying that's how the Mexicans do it. This is how all the nations do it. The thing is, these other nations, they do it and you don't even know they doing it. Like, we're the ones who need loans all the time and have to run. We're in want. That's a curse. We're in want of all things. It's getting to the point, it's slowly getting to the point where our sisters don't even know how to cook food. You're in the death roll now. They're taking away the means of production. I was talking to Koya. I was like, yeah, Koya. I was like, look. I was like, we get on the land. Think about this. The sisters are going to have to learn. What would be very productive is the sisters learn how to wash rags in a river. And that might hit you weird, but if we can pool our money together, buy 50 wash rags. Because, you know, if you go to Costco, you could buy bundles of 20 wash rags for like, you buy bundles of 20 wash rags for cheap, 15 bucks, let's say. Whatever. You buy a bunch of these wash rags. If you could wash them in your running stream, if you could wash them there to clean them in your running stream you have on your land, guess what? You don't have to buy a paper towel anymore. I took a picture of some paper towel, 8 rolls, or it might have been 10 rolls in Publix. That's the name of the store we have here in Jacksonville. We do our grocery shopping at. Hey, dude, that paper towel was like 18 or 20 damn dollars for that crap. So if I get my sisters with some cheap soap or something, we come up with a way to clean those things. We could use those wash rags to wipe the tables, as napkins, as this, that, the other. You see what I'm saying? Means of production. That's kind of, I don't know if that's the best example, but it kind of leans to what I'm talking about. If we got our sisters and our brothers out there tending to the land, they're growing the crops, they're planting stuff, they're harvesting it. For now, we don't have to go out there and, we don't have to go out there and go grocery shopping as much. Because what? We're taking back the means of production. We're doing for ourselves. Now, and be patient with me as I map this out, because something's gonna really hit you in a couple seconds. So we take back our means of production, like how Straightway do it. The getting the field ready and the labor some work the men would do, come together and do that. Then the women would harvest the stuff, prep the food. You could even have the men harvesting the stuff and the women prepping the food each day. And what you're gonna slowly begin to do is you grow those fields and grow that means of production. Guess what? The women are already not going off the land to work. Well, now soon, most of the men ain't gonna need to go off the land and work. Elder Mitchell, only one man goes off the land and works. The rest of the men stay on the land and take care of the land and build. Because they what? They took back the means of production. Now all you need is a little bit of money coming in to pay the taxes at the end of the year. That's why it's important to build on the land and not buy some land that's overly expensive. You see what I'm saying? So take, you, now you got one man going off the land to work. What? You're not going to be killing your vehicle as much, or vehicles. So you're taking back the need to. Oh, Michael, what about your power bill? You got solar. A brother was showing me, this is why you want to make sure you have running water on the land, a stream or a river. While a brother was showing me how dude took a washing machine and turned it into a water generator. But they sell water generator kits. Again, taking back the means of production. You're producing your own power. All the brothers and sisters are coming together. These are people who ain't lazy excuse makers. These are people who are going to get out there. They're going to get out on the land. They're willing to get in the sun and sweat. You see, a lot of people, you've been brainwashed into thinking the hot sun and sweat coming down your forehead is bad. They brainwash you into thinking that being in the sun and sweat pouring down and funky armpits is bad. Oh, it's one of you need the sun. That's vitamin D. Sweat gets the toxins out of your system. It's one of the main ways your body detoxifies. The people who realize sweat is good, what do? Well, I'm going to go pay the gym. I'm going to pay the gym to waste my labor. Well, let's get in the field and do some crops and get a means of production. So now you're out there. You're sweating in the sun. You're getting crops. You got your kids out there learning to do it. Your kids are with you. They're not in the public fool system for little Jimmy to use for target practice. You see what I'm saying? They're with you. They're learning. You're doing the means of production. The women are in there prepping the food. You're eating healthy meals. So now you ain't running around sick, sucking down poison, getting sick, so that you're giving your money to who? The medical nightmare. Don't let me go into that. So you beginning to see what I'm saying? So this is Mystery Babylon the Great. This is the mystery. Now I have to research this verse. I'm not sure if I'm hitting it totally correct, but the mystery of iniquity. See what I'm saying? It's the mystery. It's deception. You know, it takes me talking about this for you to understand the ramifications of what I'm saying. So this is what we trying to do. We ain't trying to do this with no excuse making bootlickers. If you're a lazy excuse making bootlicker, you ain't ready to grind. And I'm not saying everybody's gonna have to be out there in the field working like a damn rented mule from sun up to sundown for the rest of their damn life. No. What I'm saying is we get people doing certain things that their Most High has blessed them to do for the spirit of excellence, and this thing will take off quick. Don't take money. Well, it don't take a bunch of money. And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you this: money, even right now with what we're doing in, yeah, what we're doing in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm gonna be honest. Money has been the least, the resource that we did least in need of. People is sitting there ready and waiting with the money. Getting the land is not gonna be an issue. I see that now. I got people. I'm telling you, the phone calls I've been on just in the past 4 or 5 days. And like I said, a sister already, we got 11 acres that we're gonna use for the farming, weapons training, Shabbat meetings, events, all that. You know what I'm saying? So none of this stuff is an issue. I'm gonna tell you what the biggest issue is. Okay? Someone do a drum roll. I'm gonna show you what the biggest issue is. The biggest issue is spiritual development. That's that's the biggest issue we have. Is spiritual development. People got a selfish Greco-Roman Babylonian mindset. They're envying their oppressors. Their oppressors are way ahead of them in group economics. And that's the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, set apart living. Yeah, go ahead and email me. I could, if you know, and that's for any of y'all. If any of y'all are interested, email me. That's the first step. We could talk. I know I've already talked to a lot of people here in Jacksonville. We're going to be doing our first Shabbat next week. All right, that's apparently my wife does not know I am live. Apparently, cause she just called me. So, but yeah, but this, uh, this is heavy stuff. And yeah, if you got land, the biggest thing is finding people who got the right mind. People who really get what we're trying to do and really want to, get after it in whatever capacity that the Most High has blessed them with, the ability to do. That's the big thing, you know. Um, exactly, finding like-minded people, and, and then also being, you know, because the land, that's just getting your money behind the land, you know. I can name some of the big name Hebrew ministries that tried to put together communities, and it was a painful disaster. And that's why it comes down to, dealing with folks who, you know, have their minds right. And y'all just I'm gonna be talking quiet because people are it's slowly getting crowded over here where I'm at. So I'll be talking clear. If you can't hear me, just let me know. I'll be I'll find a place where I can yell louder. But yeah, understand that to the point where it might be to the point where you might need to sell your land and go where the like-minded people are and combine those resources. You know, um, but because I'm telling you, trust me, the land ain't the issue. Every that every single time, I promise, what the issue was people not having their minds right. That's right. Somebody put right here. That one is the Mona Israel. They said it was sinful. It was incest and molestation. Yeah. And see, that's before we get into something, before we get into doing something. That needs to be established. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to fix that is weapons training from the least to the greatest. And instruct everybody, you know, somebody try to touch you, put a pill in them. Y'all understand that? Okay? But, yeah, born and raised. So, because, look, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm, you got to be willing. The, again, going back to what I was talking about earlier. Um, Shaq, voice, brother Matt, you crazy, dude. He said the big Shaq says telling you how it is. Michael Israel knows how to give the ball to the. Okay. Yeah, man. But look, listen. Um, remember what I said before. The issue with the awakening or whatever, the the resource that's lacking among us isn't money. It's not land. It's not know-how. It's not talent. It's not the issue. The resource that's on E among us due to our brainwashing and programming over here is brotherhood, the spirit of brotherhood, the spirit of transparency and trustworthiness. Okay, if we, if we're gonna move forward with this, there's gonna be uh, there's gonna be some brutal conversations. Stop. There's gonna be some. This is what I see wrong with you. This is why I think you're gonna be a problem on the land. Somebody asked, will polygyny be allowed? Is it biblical? Is it in the book? Let me, good, but I'm glad you brought that up because it ain't difficult. Okay, um, with a lot of, in the very, very near future, okay? Because this is something else that's coming. A lot of self, and I'm not saying you are, sis, but a lot of selfish women who say, a lot of women say, oh, I love my sisters. Most of these women really don't like other women, okay? Well, sister, what you got to understand here in America, it's not legal to get more than one marriage license when you're in because most people in America, you're married to your wife and to the government. Okay? So understand that. So it's not legal to get more than one marriage license. Okay? You understand that? Oh yeah. But it is legal to, you know, it is legal to run around and have side chicks and do all this debauchery that they encourage you to do out here. To just be free to, you name it. You know what I mean? I, I could tell you they fear. Okay, imagine some, some of these brothers out here could think about if a brother had three wives and each of them had 6 kids. You see what I'm saying? So when you begin to do the math like that, and you go back to our families, some of our great grandmothers and grandmothers had 8, 10, 12, 14 kids. You get 3 or 4 wives doing that in one generation, you're going to take over the world. They know this. You're going to do some nation building. But I'm not going to get off in all that, but we'll talk about all that. But what's getting ready to happen is there's a shortage. You got a majority of our black men are gay or in prison or dead or just out in the world being whoremongers, not in this truth. So when you factor in the straight up, real, non-feminine dudes that's in this truth, you're looking at 7-1. It might be more than that. And what's getting ready to happen is when this I'm not going to say the persecution, but when this society begins to crumble, we have a lot of sisters out there who need a covering, who need a head. It talks about it in the book. And that'll become painfully obvious here very soon to a lot of sisters or whatever, you know. But on the same note, I'm gonna tell you, I want to go into a couple other things. You're not what we're talking about doing here, coming together economically, financially, truly come together like brothers and sisters in every aspect of our lives, like a literal brother and sister would. It's going to weed out all those people who have low moral character, low spiritual character. Those people who love carnal things, who have a foot in Babylon, the people who worship mammon, people who worship certain mindsets that come with this Babylonian culture. All of them are going to get weeded out. It's going to be people who care more about their brother than themselves. Okay? Somebody said, but I'm in a small town in southwest GA. Sisters here are in religion. Move. Move. If you're in a small town in southwest Georgia, you're not far from Jacksonville. I'm not saying you got to move to Jacksonville. You can, because like I said, we're putting something together here. You can move. But if I told you, hey, if I told you I'll give you $1 million if you move, yeah, you be in a U-Haul tomorrow. So yeah, it's that serious, It's that serious, And like I said, if you want to know whether they're like-minded believers, how long of a drive is it from where you at to Jacksonville? Or from where you're at to maybe Atlanta? Or wherever you think there might be some like-minded believers? Again, like I told you, the resource that's lacking isn't land, it isn't money, it isn't anything people want to make it. It's true spirit-filled believers. That's the lacking resource. All right, somebody put, people don't realize that a marriage license makes your marriage a polygynous marriage with, yeah, she said it makes you a polygynous marriage with the state. Yep. Hold on. Yeah, let me say this. A lot of the women are beginning to see this now. When this society, and biblical prophecy, what I'm learning in biblical prophecy, what I've studied so far, what I'm beginning to realize, the next prophetic event that's happening now and it's going to continue to happen that we're actually going through right now, that's biblically prophesied, is this society slowly going to unravel. And things that we look to this society for are slowly going to begin to go away. And we're going to begin to uh, have to rely on ourselves. You can kind of see the it slowly, subtly coming into play. You see the writing on the wall, but it hasn't really taken effect. Well, when that happens, men are going to become very valuable. A dude like me, who constantly got his mind on military stuff, on building, on brotherhood, on weapons and self-defense, people like me become very valuable to women. Not because, oh, he's so cute, nothing like that. Because women are going to want protection. Right now, that protection is offered by Babylon if you serve them. Okay? Oh, weighty matter. I'm just telling you facts. But very soon, these women are going to be scurrying a righteous man. And, and, and the women ain't going to be up here, oh, you didn't get me a box of chocolates, and you didn't talk to me nice. And no, they going to just want a dude who's going to be willing to protect them and teach them to protect themselves and lead them. They're going to be looking for a real leader. They ain't going to be trying to contend with you because they don't feel good that day. Things about to change. The writing's on the wall, y'all. The Bible commands us to keep the laws of the land and the laws of Yah. So what you're telling me, Baruch Zion, for instance, we're going to take a Ak. Well, I don't know if he wants me to put his name in it. Okay, so there's a brother. So listen to this, okay? There's a brother. When he came into the truth, he was messing with 3 women. He came into the truth, had kids by them all. So what you're saying is he should just cut them all off and marry one and not be bothered with them and pay him child support. Well, you know what this brother opted to do? He opted not to get a Babylonian marriage license to where he was married to the government and whoever else, but he decided to do it Hebraic way. So what he does, he takes care of all 3 women. He's in relationships with all 3 women. He's in all 3 women's lives, all 3 of the kids' lives. He didn't do what this society tells you to do and ostracize 2 of them, leave them out there fatherless with no father in their life, go around like this society encourages and just stick and move and be a whoremonger. No, he stayed in all 3 of their lives. So you're telling me that's illegal? Again, mystery, Babylon the Great. It's a mystery. Because what? They keep you divided. Brother Kabir was talking about, it said, nor the effeminate, it said, nor extortioners, people who extort money out of people. Child support system. I'm telling you, I know, it's tight, but it's right. It's tight. So sorry, what do you mean you're sorry? Sorry about what? For asking questions? No, you better ask questions. Not far at all. Let's say people. I'm in Tallahassee. We travel every other week to fellowship with. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, y'all come out. Y'all welcome to Jacksonville. Just you gotta email me. That's all. Keep the laws of the land. Be careful, Israel. Jim Jones. Yahuwah ben Yahweh. Yep. And Brother Baruch, the people who followed those people, if again, if you have low spiritual development, you're not you're gonna choose a bad leader. Just like the people who get slow bled by oh that man, that looks like that dude. That look like that dude who be on TV, that physicist. Michiro. I bet that's him. But anyway, um, yeah, the what Brother Baruch is subtly trying to say is if you come together as a nation, that you're gonna it's gonna turn into a Jim Jones cult. That's what he's basically implying. So he's kind of trying to fear monger. Um, like I said, so what he's saying is stay in Babylon, and I mean that's what he's subtly saying. To which I say, hey, do what you got to do. All right? But again, there's a strong emphasis on spiritual development and biblical understanding and righteous leadership, then you won't fall into that. Because, I mean, I could crush what he's saying, because if you look, 900 babies aborted a day. Okay? Do we need to go through the numbers of what's going on around here? Okay? It's so the whole, if you move on land with like-minded people, it's a Jim Jones cult. But then I could show you people doing this who've done it for years. I could show you, matter of fact, I'm going to have polygynous families that have generational polygyny who've done it for years. Okay? So yeah, I see the comments. See the comments beginning to heat up. So with what the brother said, obey the laws of the land. They said, you could marry Bubba and Johnny could get married. Gay for marriage. Matter of fact, they say you can marry your doggy. So this, according to what he's saying, he's gonna go marry a dog and pets. He's with all that. So sometimes you got to use wisdom and have understanding on the big matter, which is marriage and marriage law. But on a small matter, you have to have wisdom and knowledge. What is a marriage license? And what this country says, you can only have one marriage license. They don't care if you have multiple wives. So again, he doesn't have understanding. All right, let's see what y'all say. The real thing to be afraid of would be remaining in Babylon longer and being amongst heathen, yes, in a collapse. And that's what we're talking about. You don't have to be out in the middle of nowhere, but one of the things that Pastor Al was saying is, he said, be out there enough to where people can't just walk. Like the whole city can't just walk over to where you're at and just pillage you and overrun you and kill you off in the midst of a collapse. That's all he's saying. Okay? All right, you say, I believe we have to use discernment in all we do. Dude, the Bible says that. That's book. That's good. Dude, this is why people follow Creflo Dollar, because they have no discernment. This is why people follow majority of these Hebrew leaders, because they have no discernment. Okay, there's a lack of discernment out there. Absolutely. This, this is why this is why a lot of people who have zero discernment and just have no wisdom follow these cults to their death or demise or whatever. People who have some discernment follow these ministries that slow bleed them. They slow bleed their resources year after year. They're in the same predicament. If they look a month out, they're going to pretty much be in the same predicament they were in the month before. There's no hope. They just sell them wishful thinking. Hold on. Okay? Um, let's see. Um, People who have high levels of discernment can discern the times. They see the times. They see what's coming. And they make moves. This is people of high discernment. They're able to discern other people's spirits and not get under silly leaders. They're able to read the Bible and discern when they're being emotional and interpreting the Bible through their emotions, or when they're reading the Bible and they're interpreting it with truth. Okay, so let's see. It came to pass also that 7 brethren, their mother, were taken. Okay, you putting a bunch of verses in there. I don't know. But yeah, so not getting off topic, but just see, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm trying to show people what the works are that are mentioned, all this, the actionable task of the Bible, and where the actionable tasks that need to be taken have not been taken, and that's part of Mystery Babylon the Great. That's part of the mother of harlots doctrine, is for there not to be, for you not to take action. Even in the Hebrew walk, count the number of Hebrew organizations, small and great, that have they're simply, all they're doing is they put a Hebrew stamp on Christian practices. You give them money, they give you lessons. You give them more money, they give you more lessons. And they say, thou art holy, brother. Thou art in the truth, my brother. That's all they do. Okay? That's heavy. It's almost all these organizations out here. That's what they're doing. This is the significance. It's why a lot of people, they rant and rave about Pastor Dow and his ministry, because they take action. They're actually walking this out. And people have a problem with it. This is why they came up. This is why everybody was making all these. This is why so many people were bearing false witness. And now you can't even get them to come on here and say hello. Okay? So, yeah, the Bible was written by polygamists. Abraham, you know what I'm saying? Moses. So what I tell people, I had to tell my mother this. You gotta, this is the only thing I would ask you. Because it don't bother me that you're coming here and you say that. But you should be very careful and pray and make sure you've done proper research. before you make certain statements on that, because there's some heavy verses in Torah and in the Bible, and you just need to be careful on what you say, because what you're doing, you're unknowingly speaking against the Bible if you're speaking against that, because the majority of people who wrote the book were in those types of relationships. Okay. You also need to study, and I showed y'all on when I did my tour through New York video. I showed you in that video how gay this Greco-Roman society is. So just don't put that in there out of emotion, because then you're gonna be in error. You know, don't come into this with that again, that mystery Babylon, the great mind, that Greco-Roman mother of harlots mind. Be careful coming into this truth with that type of mind. Okay, somebody said the first sin. Okay, so just do your research, and when you do your research, make sure your emotions aren't in it. Okay, but anyway, somebody put you just need to be with a leader who is against multiple wives. That's your tribe instead of coming. Okay, so yeah, so like the comments are going so fast. What did Christ say about polygamy? Well, what did Christ follow? He followed Torah, and multiple wives is in Torah. It's in Deuteronomy. So you really wrestling with it if you're saying that. You really. That's why I'm saying, just slow down. There's nothing to get all excited about, and just do a little reading, a little Bible research, and you're gonna see. And then you also need to do research on this society. You need to see where we got this culture that you know of here in America. You need to see where we got it from. Again, there's a big lack of knowledge. So yeah, yeah, you know, um, okay. So, so yeah, we're gonna get back on topic, but um, so what the key to overcoming this system is understanding that the only way to come out of it is we have to take back our means of doing. What we've become is we're literally like somebody who can't move, and somebody has to do everything for us. They've made us children in this society. And what we do is they make us do all the work for them, and we have to rely on them for everything. And we have to mature and become adults in this society and learn to work together, learn to do for ourselves. And the only way to do that is to come together as a nation, and as we were as a nation. You know, we have to be able to. The more we could come together with like-minded people who have a team mindset, the the quicker we'll turn this captivity. That's what it's about. So yeah, So somebody said, where do you guys live where you can find multiple wives? Um, I, let me tell you a couple things, because now we get into a whole nother heavy thing. That I'm gonna just do another. I'm gonna do another show altogether. And we are, because I'm gonna have Sister Carol's gonna be coming on my show. That's because Pastor Dow has three wives. Uh, Sister Carol, she's gonna be coming on the show, so she'll be talking about it. Um, and we're gonna go into that. We're gonna get a lot of edification and education on it. Um, we're gonna really get into that. But the main purpose, main topic of this video here, of course, is just further pulling back the curtains on what the mystery is, of Babylon. And I think y'all have gotten that out of that. We are. It's right around the corner, fam. Yep. There's some good examples of it. Yeah, we're gonna bring on some great examples of it. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Even without putting that topic on the table, I people are gonna get blown away when they see the peace in the mind of Sister Carol. A lot of I can already tell you, a lot of these women are gonna have a problem with the peace and the spiritual development of this sister, because she gonna really, what she does is just her behavior and how she conducts herself is a witness against most of these women out here who profess to be, women of Zion. Somebody said, nothing I am saying is based on scripture. Fear God and keep the commandments. It was filled with okay. Well, like I said, everything I say I could back up with scripture. I told you about the scripture in Deuteronomy. It says if a man have two wives, it says it right there. So you kind of silly. Now nothing. I can confidently say nothing you're saying lines up. Like I said, when I do the lesson um, on multiple wives, bring your best, and I would even invite you to come on or call in on that show. Um, what's this? It is. Somebody said that is elementary in Torah, breaking that down, multiple wives. So polygyny. So yeah, but anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm getting ready to get something to eat. I'm gonna get me a nap. Like I said, I checked into the airport early because I had to get out my hotel room. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get something to eat because they had some good food over there. That's one thing. New York got some good food. So yeah, I'm gonna get some of this food. I'm gonna eat and then get ready to make some phone calls. Uh, I'm gonna hit you up here in a little while, a live. So just after I'm done with this live, I'm gonna hit you up because I had some stuff I wanted to talk to you about. And make a bunch of other phone calls. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. And like I said, I'm gonna continue bringing stuff out with these lessons, and I'm gonna focus in more on spiritual development also. One of my lessons. Anyway, with that said, Michael Israel over here at LaGuardia Airport. Be back home soon. And with that said, shalom.